Hey everybody, Cheryl here from Healthy Living Garden to Table, and today is Taco Tuesday. So we are going to be making a smoky cauliflower with pinto beans and a magnificent chipotle lime sauce to go over it all taco. So it is amazing. I am using my air fryer for this recipe, and I will put some of it together. I did air fry some of it ahead of time so that you're not going to listen to the loud air fryer, but let's get started. First of all, you want to take your cauliflower and you want to make them into like bite-sized little pieces to make sure that when they're going into the taco, they're not just these big pieces of cauliflower. So I'm going to break this. I already cut it, part of it. As I said, I already put some of it in the air fryer. I'm loving my air fryer. I don't know if you have one or not. This is not required. If you don't have an air fryer, go ahead and throw it in your oven and just broil it. It works just fine on the broiler. And like I said, just going to put it little, bite-sized pieces in there. I had to do it, I'm going to be doing it in batches, which is just fine in the air fryer. It goes so fast in the air fryer. And it takes like minimal oil, which is always a bonus for any of my recipes. Take a little heel off of it. So this is going to be really, it's going to have the chili powder in it, it's going to have the cumin and some garlic and onion in it, and be nice and smoky. And then the sauce that I have is a lime chipotle sauce that I'm pretty excited about. It tastes so good. If you don't have a good chipotle spice that you find, it took me a while. I still kind of like play with it, trying to find different chipotle spices, and I found a salsa that looks pretty clean. So I always look to make sure at least if I'm not making the sauce at home, at least the ingredients are as clean as I would do. So look for that. Okay, this looks to be probably, I'm thinking about a couple batches. Okay. All right. And then I'm going to put some cumin in it, and I'm going to put a half a teaspoon of cumin. Okay, and then a tablespoon of chili powder. And then half a teaspoon of garlic. And then half a teaspoon of onion powder. One of the few times you're going to see me using all powders and not the real thing. Half a teaspoon of salt. It's half a teaspoon. You don't need a lot of salt in there. And then a half a teaspoon of pepper. Okay. And then you're going to use, now especially, you've probably noticed I've been using grapeseed oil, or I'll use avocado oil instead in my cooking nowadays, because they have higher smoke points than olive oil does. And when you're using the air fryer, they always suggest you use a low smoke point oil, which, like I said, is grapeseed oil or avocado oil. Either one of those will work really well. And I've been finding, you're going to use 2 tablespoons, and I've been finding that when I've been using this in my recipes, that it's the flavors are better, because olive oil has, if you use a good olive oil, it has a distinct flavor and everything's going to taste olivey. So olivey, is that a word? It is now. Okay, so it looks like this. Okay, so just going to give that quick stir, and then I'm going to go ahead and set this aside, because I'm going to put that in the air fryer later and do batches. But let me show you what that's going to look like. So there's part of I mean, I did one batch. So there's the finished product when you air fry it. It's nice and smoky and crispy, and that would be delicious. So the next thing I'm going to put together is I am going to put together the sauce, because after that I'm going to put together pinto beans, and the pinto beans are just literally just a couple spices and some lime juice. So now it's funny because I'm gonna put the lime in there first. So I'm using a coconut yogurt. So this will be like a coconut lime sauce, which will be really yummy. When I first developed this recipe and I did the recipe, I was gonna use a coconut yogurt, and it was funny because I was on the phone with somebody, and I said, "Oh, that's coconut," and I thought, "Oh, excuse me, pepper." Every time I have pepper, that happens to me. Anyway, I said, "Oh my gosh, wouldn't that be really yummy? Wouldn't lime and coconut be really good in a sauce?" So, I don't do any dairy because I'm allergic to dairy. So I do usually like an oat milk or a coconut milk type yogurt, and so I thought that would be so good to do coconut yogurt. That's what I did, because I think the coconut taste, and that's what, when you're doing an alternative, you have to really watch to see what your alternative, how it's going to taste. Is it going to take, if it's coconut and you want it to be something savory, you might not want to use coconut milk. You might want to use something a little bit more neutral tasting. So I know that regular yogurt is pretty neutral. This is going to be a whole lemon in there. It's pretty neutral tasting, but again, I'm allergic to dairy, so I always try to find alternatives. And anybody that is vegan, this is going to be a perfect recipe for them because there is no meat in this. Okay, so that's 1 full lemon, and then I'm going to put cilantro in here. And if you're a measurer, I'm going to say it's probably going to be, I don't know, half a cup. But I don't always measure my herbs. It's a grab full. So when I do my herbs, when I dice my herbs up and make it, especially for a sauce, you want to make sure it's diced really fine. So what I do is kind of like roll it like a cigar, and then I go in half, and then I roll it really, really tight, and I give it a quick chop. Okay. This is not only going to be, I think this is going to be more than a 1/4 of a cup, so I'm going to save some of it for a decoration on top of the taco. Every time I use pepper like that, my nose, I always sneeze. Okay, chops, so there's no big pieces in there. Okay, I want to make sure it's fine enough. I'm gonna probably do most of it. I'll just leave this a little bit here for the tacos. Okay. So now what it calls for is Chipotle. So I looked. If you try to find Chipotle's chilies, they usually come like in a can, in adobo sauce. And for whatever reason, not every grocery store carries that. So I was at my local market, and I found a Gourmet Chipotle salsa, and oh my gosh, that smells amazing. So I'm gonna put 2 tablespoons of this in there, because again, like I said, the ingredients were, clean, and that's what I, when I look for, what I'm gonna put into my sauces, if it's not a sauce that I'm going to make, which I try to make my own, because really it's not hard. It goes together so quickly, and you can control the ingredients. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in there, and then I'm going to put a little bit of some cumin in there, just a half a teaspoon, and garlic, again, half a teaspoon. Okay. Stir, and I'm not going to add salt because the salsa had salt in it, so I want to make sure that it's not too salty. It smells so good. I think I need to taste that. Oh, that turned out good. Okay, the coconut yogurt made it. I had it the other way with the oat milk. It wasn't bad, but this is better. So you want the better. Okay, now we're gonna do the pinto beans, and then we're gonna put this taco together. So, I make my own pinto beans. This, you can totally buy canned beans. You know, it's whatever you know, whatever's your thing, that's fine. I made, this was a cup, so this was like really turns into 2 cups. So I'm only going to do part of these because the other part I'm going to use in a soup. So you're going to take your pinto beans and then some lime juice. And you can warm the beans up if you want to. I'm putting them cold on there because the cauliflower will be warm, and that'll be fine. Now, if you want to warm up your tortillas, that's always really good. You can warm your tortillas, you can warm your beans up. I just want the beans to be nice and fresh tasting. Okay, so I'm gonna do that and stir. And then I found some chipotle, ground red chipotles, or chipotle peppers. So I'm going to put a couple sprinkles in here. I don't want this really hot, but I just want to echo the flavor from the sauce to the beans with a lime fresh taste. That the fresh lime on there, that'll be really good. And like I said, I don't want it to be really heavy in here because I want the beans to be fresh. Okay. All right. Now let's build this thing. So I am going to build it with corn tortillas, taco shells rather. Yeah, corn taco shells. So these, I just got some of these recently, and I've been using them. They're 313 Urban Tortillas, so they're a local company, and I love buying from local companies. But I know I've said this before, I think in one of my videos, but it's like there's like no dairy, soy free, they have 0 trans fat, no sugar, no tree nuts, they're gluten free, it's plant-based, everything, like this whole thing is telling you what there's not in there, which I love. I love a company that tells you exactly what's in it, and I love that they don't have all the crap in it that you don't need in your food. And so this is if I can support local and it's a healthy product, I'm like super happy about that. So if you find the 313 Urban Tortillas or taco shells in your area, if they are local to you or whatever, support those. So I'm going to put in some of the cauliflower, a little bit of the pinto beans, and then I am going to, you know what, I forgot, I was going to slice up some of this avocado to put on there. So when you're slicing up your avocado, just give it a cut down the middle, and then that one opened really well. If you were going to take the seed out, you just give it a quick whack down the middle and just give it a turn, and it would come out. I'm going to keep it stored with that so that it doesn't go bad. And then I just cut down the center just to make some nice slices there. Okay. All right, we're going to use some of this avocado slices in there. And then I have some shredded red cabbage I'm going to put on top. Oh, this is building to be nice. Okay, and then let's put some of this yummy sauce on there. Okay. Extra, because I like extra. Because I'm a little extra. Put some of that cilantro on there so it's nice and fresh. And let's go in. Mmm. That is really good. Now, I am an air fryer fan. I'm not going to say one's better than the other because I really don't know. I know mine, I like it. We use it more than twice a week. We use it for air frying and baking and grilling and heating things up, etc. I really, really like it. It's not the easiest to clean, but I really like it. But I love everything that comes out of it. If you have never had air fryer cauliflower, if you own one, it is so amazing. It's nice and crispy. And even though that it's not still hot, it's still crispy, which I love. I've done so many different things. I think the next, I have a couple more segments coming up later this month that's going to have air fry things in it too. So if you have an air fryer, use it. If not, like I said, this recipe totally is good if you roast your vegetables in the oven. It still works just fine. If you don't have an air fryer, you know, you can still use this recipe. But like I said, it's nice and fresh and it's light. And we have a lot of meatless Mondays coming up because I know this is Taco Tuesday, but I have a lot of meatless things coming up because I do a lot of meatless Mondays and Daniel fast, etc. So if you are looking for something that is a meatless dish, this is a vegan dish. This is an amazing and it tastes fresh. I hope you enjoy this content. If this is something that you enjoy, oh, it's falling apart. If this is something that you enjoy, please hit the subscribe button and the like button, and I will see you next week on Taco Tuesday. Talk to you soon.